Today we're going to make more of a chill video on having days off, on making sure that we are spending the time to take care of ourselves. And I know I have these days when I'm in a bad mood because I have to do some things that I really don't want to do, but I get them done anyways. And then I'm like, well, do we go and tackle a new task? And I say to myself, just a little, just a little. My ideal in life is to constantly push myself to become a little bit more resilient. The reason being, I know waves are to come. I know that things are going to get more difficult because I want them to. Frankly, I want to have more responsibility. I want to make a bigger difference in people's lives, in my life, in my family's life. I want to be better. But it needs to come with time. We underestimate what we can get done in 5 years, and we overestimate what we can get done in 1 year. My name's Tarab. I make videos about emotional intelligence every day. We must, my friend, have the balance in life. I was asked a question today, which is always good because I'm looking for ideas for these videos. So if you have questions, throw me a question. A question said something along the lines of, how do you know what to sacrifice? How do you know what to sacrifice in the pursuit of trying to gain more in life? And I said to my young friend, I said, hey, there are some things that we're unwilling to sacrifice. For instance, certain value things like loyalty or honesty or integrity, passion, whatever it is. There are some things in life that we should be unwilling to sacrifice. That's like what we stand for, you know? Perhaps you really like watching soccer, for instance, and you've always liked watching soccer, and it's been a part of your family for generations. Who am I to say, who are you to say, who is anyone to say that you must sacrifice this in order to achieve your goals? Frankly speaking, I said to him, listen, there are 100 other things that you can sacrifice before you sacrifice your core values, before you sacrifice the things that make you you. And I said, from my own personal experience, that it's a gradual process. It's impossible for someone to just miraculously change every aspect of their life. It's a process. It has to be a process. That's what makes it fun. So it makes it encouraging when we break through, or exciting when we experience a new realization about ourselves, or perhaps that we've acquired a new skill set. So when it comes to moving forward in this more or less endless journey, I think it's very important to know when we've reached our limit, when we're giving ourselves enough love, when we're in the process of achieving what we wish to achieve. And the process is very important. And, you know, I could play devil's advocate here, as I often do in these videos, but really I want to keep it very positive and chill. At the end of the day, like, there should be things that you enjoy doing in life. There should be things that we are unwilling to give up because it's what makes us happy with all of the work that we're doing. The freedom, I suppose, that the work that we're doing gives us. Satisfaction is a difficult thing to tackle when we are trying to grow as people, because necessarily what satisfied us at one stage of life can satisfy us at another stage of life if it is pure, if it is aligned with our souls, our values. That level of satisfaction is going to be just as great at both points. Our skills might change, our attitudes, philosophies may change, but that sense of satisfaction more or less stays the same. I believe when it comes to the more polarized emotions, the depth of happiness, the depth of sadness, those things change. Those things change a lot. But to me, right in the middle, that line that follows, I think there's an eternal satisfaction that's timeless. Eternal satisfaction that's timeless. It's something that I believe we should try to aspire, we should try to have regularly if possible. But really, at least once or twice a week, try whatever that thing is that gives you immense satisfaction about living. Do it, and the grind is real, and the grind is forever, the grind is eternal, and there's discipline to be had, sure, but there's no fun in life if we're not giving the time, giving the space to breathe, for the muscles to recuperate, for idle thought and laughter and childish exuberance. These things are equally important. Part of emotional intelligence is realizing that everyone needs these things in life. And to keep pushing and to keep pushing and to keep pushing, it's good, but it can fracture relationships, it can fracture things in our life, our souls, our initiatives, our belief in self. So, if you're in a state in life where you've been pushing really hard, do one little thing that allows you to feel good about what you're doing. Do one little thing that gives you the freedom back, that gives you the luxury back to love yourself, to know that you love yourself. Go on a walk or something, or go sit outside for 10 minutes and take in the sun, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, take in the sun. It doesn't always, and most of the time when I think about satisfaction, it really does have to do with seeing nature, for me in particular. I really do get the most immense okayness with life when I'm viewing things in the natural world, or I'm outside in some capacity. I spend a lot of time in the basement these days, and I assume this will continue for some period of time. But I do make sure a couple times a week to go on a little walk in the park. And it is little, it's like 20-ish minutes. I wish it was longer. And perhaps I'll make it longer on the weekend, but I do prioritize that peace, that quiet in life, because it's a nice contrast. It's a nice way to say, hey, you're still alive, buddy. You're still kicking, you're still human. Right? Enjoy it. Enjoy it while it lasts. Don't spend all of your time working. And the funny part is, if you want to put it in terms of growth, it's an ever expanding, contracting kind of distillation of an idea. I made a video a long time ago about the depth of conviction about our ideologies, and how when we pursue our growth, when we pursue our expansion, that necessarily it's actually going to make our ideologies, our values more concrete. It's going to make our willpower more felt in a deeper way by other people, by perhaps the world around us. But in order to get to that compressed philosophy, I think there's a lot of stages of expansion and compression. Meaning, you grow, and then you realize, oh shit, there's all these like holes in the matrix, and they kind of need to be patched up, otherwise it's gonna hurt, or you perhaps the entire thing will fall apart. So you compress a little bit again just to fill those holes, and then say, okay, all right, now we're at a stable state again. And then you expand. You're like, oh shit, okay, there's more holes than I'd like to, and you gotta plug up some leaks, and then you plug up some leaks, and the whole thing goes back down. Now you're a little bit more solid. And so that's what I think the rejuvenation, the necessary soulful satisfaction part of life comes in. It kind of soothes the growing pains. It soothes growing pains. As the larger your soul gets, the more involved you get with your communities, the more responsibility you get. It must come with a deeper level of soothing. It must come with a deeper level of understanding that we need that time off, and how to get it, and perhaps what stage of life a certain thing is gonna help us the most in terms of that soothing. So it's really something to take into consideration, my friend, when things get hard and you know you're doing a lot and you know that you're kind of grinding, there's a lot of responsibilities that can be offloaded if you have the means to get help. Do it wisely. Expand wisely. Give yourself the space. It's my message to you today. So it's about 9 o'clock, I think. I basically was busy all day doing a bunch of stuff, meetings mostly. Find myself in more of a manager role these days, less of a maker. And I know there's about 4 or 5 other things that I really should get done before probably 12 o'clock tonight or 11 o'clock tonight. And but I wanted to make these videos, so here you go. Here's my time in between that helps me talk about life, and perhaps a therapy session for myself to say, hey man, it's okay. Actualize your potential catalyst. This world needs you. Take care of yourself.